Hey everyone. So yeah, John Bittner kind of took my intro a little bit when I was gonna browbeat Tim for giving me 25 minutes. You got 30 minutes, so haha. But I did want to just kind of introduce myself a little bit. I want to make sure that you guys know who I am and how I fit into the KPEDD picture. So I was kind of hemming and hawing about this presentation, and I didn't really know how to start out, so I had a couple of jokes, right? Some dad jokes picked out. I had some other stuff going on, and funny thing happened to me this morning, and I think that I'm going to share this little bit of I think it's funny now, before it was not. So I might owe some of you in here an apology. This morning I'm staying at the Aspen, and I know a few of you in here are also staying at the Aspen, and it's lovely. So this morning I'm getting ready, and I'm blow drying my hair. It's early, it's 6:15. And as I'm blow drying my hair, the hair dryer and the moisture in my hair created some steam, and the smoke detector went off. So if any of you were up by 3:02, I'm super sorry. So it was really chaotic. It was a little panicky, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to evacuate the hotel this morning before this day even starts. So the sheer panic set in. I ran around my room like a crazy person for a little bit, and then it finally came off. I talked to the front desk. The fire department didn't have to show up or anything like that. I didn't see anybody scurrying around outside, but again, if I woke you up rudely, I'm so sorry. So with that sheer panic, I was going to talk about sheer panic when Tim suggested I make a presentation today. And that's what set in, was just like, oh no, I've got to talk to a bunch of people I don't really know. I know some of you. But really sheer panic, I got a new perspective this morning when I thought I had to run out in 25 below weather with a bunch of you. So glad it didn't turn out that way. But ultimately, I've had a moment to process what I want to share with you guys and how I want to share our resources, share what KPEDD does, and share kind of a little bit of history of Tim and I. We've known each other many, many years. And I'm looking forward to this, as I think that this is a moment and an opportunity to not only share the work that Tim does, but give you a why and the what and the who behind me, because I feel like KPEDD's work really aligns with the core values that I hold as a person, as an individual, and what I'm trying to do with my family. So our working goals and supporting the Kenai's economic health, that's what we're here to do. We're here to connect. We're here to build relationships. We're here to find resources and support systems, bridge the gaps between private sector, local governments, and make everybody a little bit better, a little bit healthier. And I think that we've learned that over the last few years of how important it is to be able to rely on the systems that are in place and the partnerships that we have. And that really rings true to me, and I hope that it shows in our work. I think our team works really well together because we share that core value of the importance of relationships and making sure that we are giving back to our communities in some way. So I started out to, I do have the clicker. Beautiful. So I'm starting out with a quote from Dan Millman, and if some of you may or may not know, he wrote The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, and it was a book that kind of impacted me in my 20s. It's about a gymnast who doesn't know if he's doing what he needs to be doing, kind of asking questions, meets a gas attendant who is some guru that gives him some life perspective and life lessons. So it's a little hippy-dippy, Tim, and it's a little spiritual, but there's some lessons in this book that have stuck with me all these years, and I think that it definitely dovetails into the work that KPEDD does. So life is a series of moments. The quality of attention and action that we bring to each moment determines the quality of our lives. And you all know that KPEDD's ultimate goal, our SEDS, is increasing the quality of your life. That's our overarching goal. So So I really want to take this moment to take in this moment, right? That life is a series of moments. We have a choice of how we react to them. And we don't get to always choose the moments. There's bad, there's good, there's meh, But we get to choose how we react to those moments and what we do with them. And KPEDD wants to be part of the moments for you, whether it's small, big, negative, positive. We want to be in some of those moments as a business owner, as a local government, as a nonprofit. We know that life is made up of all those moments, and we might have a tiny little role in there that might shine, make you more successful, or help you along the way. And we want every business owner and every leader in our region and our state to realize that we are here doing that, and that's really what our charge is. And that kind of is at the core of what we do every day. And so it's quite nice and quite hippy-dippy, but Tim won't admit that. So in terms of our regional economic infrastructure and health, we want to be a part of that and want to be part of those moments. So I want to share, I Googled how to be a good public speaker, and I found a lot, but what they said was, they said, be relatable, kind of connect with your audience. And so I'd like to do that. I want to share. I know many of you in here, and I know many of you kind of peripherally, but I want to share my Alaska story. So about 15, 20 years ago, aging myself, I was going to school at Oregon State University, and I met a girl. And we were at a barbecue, and we started talking, and she happened to be from Seldovia. She was born and raised in Seldovia. We hit it off. We were fast friends. We created a really, really strong relationship over the years. Fast forward a few years, I was living in Portland. I was working a job. It was a dead-end job. I wasn't really liking it. I wasn't thriving by any means. Just kind of getting by. Portland was okay. It was when the metrosexual lumberjack thing was happening down there with coffee and stuff. And so I was there, wasn't really feeling it, and I was in traffic, as I did every single day. I spent a lot of my time in traffic on the freeway, and I thought there has to be a little bit more than this. And I know that there is. I just got to figure it out. Well, my friend calls me and says, hey, why don't you come up here and just visit? You're going to love Alaska. And she'd been trying to talk me into coming to visit for a long time. So I finally just said, okay, I'll come up. So I came up 16 years ago, for 3 weeks in July. And it was the most magical time. I remember immediately landing in Anchorage. We drove down the highway to catch the Kennecott. The images, the majestic scenery, the feeling, everything is soaked into my pores. I know that was a moment in my life that I had to figure out how to get here. And so I did. We hiked, we camped, we fished, we did everything Alaska that you could. She was a great tour guide. And I left Anchorage thinking, I've got to get back here. And I was single back then. I had a dog, didn't have much. So I went back down to Portland to my dead-end job and saved all my money, sold all my stuff, put some of it in storage, packed a suitcase, and me and my dog came up here. Told my parents that I would move up here, try it out for a year, and see how it does. My dad was stoked, my mom was not. So, and I decided to move here in February. I thought if I can hack it in Alaska in the deepest, darkest, coldest time, then I'll have it made, right? That was my strategy. That's where I was in life. So I moved up here and got a job. I worked at the bar, the only bar in Seldovia, the Linwood Bar, and I worked and I worked and I worked. And I also met Tim during this time. He had started his tenure as the city manager there. I got a job as an administrator at the Village Safe Water, project. He took me on as just a junior clerk in the office, and from there he took a chance on me, and he saw some potential in me, and he gave me a moment. And that moment changed my life. I've been really grateful to him ever since, and we work really well together. We've been through a lot of ups and downs, but I'll never forget that you're a part of my moment, and you're a part of who I am today and why I'm here. So as we go on, I then get to have a husband, and I have a life, and I have this beautiful, beautiful way of being able to live here. And I also have this great job that I can contribute to my community, which is incredibly important to me. And it's a value that I am trying to instill in my kids, is to always give back to your community, make some type of positive contribution. Okay, done with that. And we'll move on to the next. I think that my values and where I am in my life are able to really dovetail into the work that we do at KPEDD. So we like to work with everybody. We want people to succeed, and those that have a dream, we want them to become reality in some way. So we just want to be a piece of that puzzle. We want to be a moment. So we realize that a rising tide lifts all boats, and that we believe deeply in making sure that we are bridging gaps and connecting our organizations and communities. Oops, sorry. Too many buttons. So with that, we are a non-governmental agency, which is one of our strengths and one of our assets, I believe. We work with local governments, state governments, borough governments, but we also work with the private sector, and we try to bridge those gaps. But we are a non-governmental 501c4 that's focused on responsible and sustainable economic development for our region. We have the ability to connect those 2, 3, 4, all of the different industries and sectors, and provide non-political, private, neutral information and resources. And we try to get you where you want to go, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, or where you're at in your business plan, and or where you're at as a local government. We try to build the resources out and make you succeed. Well, those were switched around for whatever reason, but rising tide lifts all boats. So one of the ways that we do that, we have a lot of resources. Tim had talked about our workforce development website, and as I came on about 16 months ago, this was just getting kind of unveiled and rolled out, and it is one of the biggest resources that we have that's so easy. It's such a great package. It's a one-stop shop for employers, for employees, for people that are wanting to change their career, no matter what age they're at, for high school students, for anybody that is trying to understand what the job market's like here, what employers are looking for, what skills they're looking for, and how to get there. This website is absolutely gold, and I use it on a regular basis. So I've been working with our principal at our school, and we're going to be hosting kind of an info session to our students to let them know that this is a resource, that they can find what skills they need to be pursuing, what their certifications are, how to find scholarships for those different industries, and build resumes, cover letters, applications. It's just a good way to kind of bolster up that segment of our population that is looking for work, and then it helps us, right? It helps the business owners that are looking for employees with a deep skill set, and it's looking to, it's helping people connect with the people that they want and get the results that they need. So the businesses win, kids win, students win. I mean, it's just such a positive one-stop shop. So I recommend you check it out. And we really, really are proud of this. And this has just been kind of a golden nugget, in my opinion, when I first came on. As Tim talked about, we have the Incubation Center. So we have 7 tenants currently, and those tenants are afforded a great campus, a great location, classroom space, meeting space, and then they have KPEDD in the building as well, which is a huge resource in itself. So if they have a question, or if they're looking for, some type of connection, or who's this and who's that, or what's this, they're just able to pop in to Caitlin or Tim's office, and it's right there. I mean, that's a great deal, if you ask me. And the fees are affordable, the leases are affordable, and it's just a great campus. And it's a great way for business owners to get to where they're going next, whether it's a stepping stone or building out their business. They have that support in the form of a physical space, but they also have the support of the knowledge and the institutional knowledge and education that KPEDD has. So we do loans. We have a second chance microloan program that's been around for about 10 years. 10 years or so, and it's intended to provide financing for small businesses where other types of financing may not exist. So for whatever reason, a business owner may not be able to get financed through a traditional lender. This program, there is an application process and information to fill out, but it helps people to bridge the gaps that they may be experiencing for whichever reason. Loans exist that are between $2,500 and $10,000. The traditional loan, historically, the average loan amount is about $2,500, or $10,000. But it's a good way for businesses, startups that can't get funded through a bank or a traditional lender to make the ends meet to buy that piece of equipment that's just going to edge them out and get them to that next level. And we have a few success stories on the peninsula. Kenai River Brewing, Alaska Salt Company down in Homer are all doing very well. And I like to think that we were part of their moment that they needed to just get to that next level as a business owner. On your tables is a flyer, and it looks like this. So we are working with the EDA, the Economic Development Administration, about, we were funded a program for a 2-to-1 partnership microloan program, and this is a revolving loan program. This is a program that's a little bit more in-depth in terms of application process and requirements, but it is also a resource for businesses to access when they need a certain level of funding, and maybe they're not able to get a traditional loan, but this is an option. This is not to compete with traditional lenders. The program is to complement it, to let businesses and industry startups know that there is another option, there is a variety out there, and this is one of them. We're really excited about rolling this out. There are short-term bridge loans that will help you get to that next level, or if you've experienced a disaster. So let's say you had some deficiencies due to a natural disaster, which we've all had in the 5 years. We've had earthquakes, wildfires, tsunamis, pandemics. Sounds biblical, but so just to let you know, we are a funding source, and I don't think a lot of people really realize that. We have these programs in place. We want to help you. Everything is in-house. We have committees, review committees that we have set up that are professionals in their fields. So we have some bank people, we have some different people in different industries that are very much aware and well-versed in the banking world, and so they'll be able to review your application and we'll be able to process it out. So I hope that people can understand that this is out there, that they will access it, come to us, and we will We will ask you to be accountable. We're not just going to give you money, you will have to pay it back. But there are some reasonable terms for this loan. Variable interest rate, we try to keep up with prime with an up to 24 to 60 month payback. And if you need working capital, inventory acquisition, technology upgrades, machinery, equipment, construction, installation, renovation, upgrades, technology kind of really made a huge push these last few years with the pandemic. So a lot of businesses really needed to tune into their technology game and understand where they are, where they need to be, where they could be. This loan could be part of that equation for you. So as Tim talked about, we are rolling out a resiliency program, and what we want to do is we understand that businesses are fragile, and like John said, that 99% of Alaskan businesses are small businesses, which make them a little bit more fragile and a little bit more volatile in terms of what they can handle. And we realize that there is a need to create resilience systems within those businesses. Whether it be an earthquake, a wildfire, tourist season just got zilched out, any of those things that happen, we want to create systems and toolkits for businesses to be able to access, to be able to know that they are there so that they can be stronger, be more resilient. As Sarah Leonard had said earlier, that we're better together. And so if we build out those systems for these businesses and industries, we're all going to be better for it. So these systems is what we want to do is develop a toolkit. And so we want relevant, useful, applicable information, whether it's succession planning or if it's how to read your finances or how to pay your federal taxes as a nonprofit or as a business owner, how to distinguish your balance sheet from your other financials, how to make sure that you are making a profit, how do you go about even making a business plan. So we know that these resources are out there, and we partner with this is a hilarious quote. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, you just attach it to a new wagon. So we know that the Small Business Administration and the Center for Economic Development and the Small Business Development Center, MEP, the Foreca Group, they have these resources already out there. We're going to harness them in, make them accessible either via the web, our websites, or we're going to send them to John Bittner if they need an extra level of small business planning. But we are going to kind of harness all of these resources in, whether it's a startup checklist, license requirements. We're going to make them available, and it's going to be available regionally on our website. We'll have a hard copy for people that like hard copy paper documents to go by. There'll be checklists. There's going to be a series on our YouTube channel of experts in their subject matter experts that will be sharing their insights to business, industry, operations management, online marketplace strategies, resource management, all of these things to make sure that if somebody comes to us, we'll say, oh, well, we have this. Here, do you want a paper? Do you want a website? Do you want to watch a video? I mean, we're going to make these toolkits something that you can use and utilize. This plan that we're developing is not just to collect dust on a shelf. It's to live and breathe and assist everybody in the different pieces of their business. A lot of business owners aren't financy, so we're going to have finances for non-financy people. We understand that. We understand that there's strengths and weaknesses, and we want to just make sure that there's the access to resources for you. But our greatest resource, are our people. So as you know, we keep kind of cheerleading us on, but we think we're great. And I think we're great. Tim has this ability to see the potential in people, to see the potential in concepts and in ideas, and take those and elevate them and enrich them. And I think that that's what he's done with KPEDD. Over the last 6 years, he's built it up to be really, very relevant. We have a full house here. We have many people that are attending online. But he also has this team. We have Caitlin, who's amazing. She knows almost everything, and I love it. But if I have a question, I can go to Caitlin, or I can go to Abby. She brings this perspective that is, I'm getting older, so I go to her to learn the cool stuff and learn what's happening with the younger generations and actually what they're thinking and what they are discussing in their age group. So Tim created this generational team. I don't know if he did it on purpose. I kind of think it was accidental, but did a good job. I gave you props. But we are the greatest asset. So we are working on all of these resources, but we're all knowledgeable. So please approach us. Please email us. Please call us. Please think of us if you have a question, if you have wonderment, if you want to read some books. I can give you all sorts of stuff. So just thank you for your time. I'm going to leave you with another little resource that we've been working on. It's a short video that showcases the Kenai Peninsula and the natural resources that we have, the industry resources that we have, and why our area is a great place to live, work, raise our families, and just really be home. And I love to be able to call this place home.